Hello everyone and welcome to the Money Man and welcome to this second episode of my new series Banknotes under UV light. And what I've got for you today is the 2015 Gambian Dalasis banknote series. Now I've already featured this series of banknotes in another video where I talk about them in much more detail in terms of their design and history. So I'll link that video at the end if you want to find more about these banknotes. However, today we're just looking at their design features under UV light. And again, hang around to the end of the video because what I've got is I've got a preview of some new banknotes that are coming up very soon. They are due to be released and they look absolutely amazing. So do hang around for that at the end. So let's dive into it. Let's have a look what we are going to see today. Okay, so what we have here is the lowest denomination, which is the $5 Dalasis banknote, and what we're going to do is enlarge it a little bit, and then we're going to subject it to UV light and see what happens. So here we go. Okay, so what you can see is we've got these small diamond-shaped images, and what they do, they sort of burst into life in these fluorescent colours, and you can see they make this lovely pattern that moves through the banknote. You can see we've got ships, we've got trees, and we've got small animals represented in this series of patterns. And over to the left we've got this rectangle that emerges with the denomination of 5 represented. So it's not that sophisticated. However, you've got to bear in mind that this is a very low value banknote and it's the lowest denomination. So pretty impressive, I would say. Now, let's move on to the next one. The next one is the $10 Dalasis banknote. Here it is. Now, remember, this is the 2015 series of Gambian banknotes, and it's got the previous leader Jammer on, but he recently left power, and when he left power, basically the Gambia decided to reissue all their banknotes with a new series, and he's no longer on the front of it, so don't get confused with the new current series. This is actually an old, out-of-date series. Okay, so let's enlarge it and let's put it under UV light and see what happens. Here we go. Okay, so you can see that we've got pretty much the same features, apart from we've got an extra 10 added in a rectangle over to the right side, okay? But it's pretty much the same as the 5, but again, remember, these are the lowest denominations, so we can't really expect anything too amazing. So let's skip over this one and move on to the next denomination. Here is the next one, which is the $20 Dalasis banknote. Here we go. Let's enlarge it and let's subject it to UV light and see what hidden treasures are lying beneath the surface. Here we go. Okay, so what you can see is we've got the same diamond images, but a few more appear, and we've got the 20 in the rectangle just to the right side of the banknote. But what we get is this sort of like ghostly accent that appears at the top and the bottom of the banknote. Now, this sort of like ghostly edging does not move through the banknote. It only appears at the top and the bottom of the security strip. And that is done on purpose because what we're seeing here is it's almost like pieces of a puzzle are being revealed as the banknotes increase in their value. And you'll see what I mean by that. We're going to have little extra UV light sensitive images added to this picture which make a larger, broader picture. Now again, you'll see what I mean as we move on through this series of banknotes, but it's pretty interesting. So let's move on to the next one, which is the $50 Dalasis banknote, and here it is. Again, I love this series of banknotes. I think it's a very beautiful series of banknotes. Some of my favourite African banknotes of recent years. So let's enlarge it and let's have a look under UV light. Okay, so you can see that we've added an extra element to this this sort of UV light sensitive part of the banknote. We've now got this wonderful pattern that moves all the way through the banknote just left of center, and it's almost like you've got these diamond shapes that are overlaid on top of each other, and you get this wonderful sense of like a tribal pattern moving through the banknote. and almost like a mosaic of small images put together to make a larger image. It's really, really interesting and very, very visually appealing. And again, just left of center, we've got the rectangle with the denomination of 50 represented in the banknote. Really, really nice, interesting, and fascinating to see. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now I absolutely love this banknote. I love the colour scheme. It's very, very fascinating. I've said this many times. You'll see in my other video that I talk about this denomination and the next one quite a lot. I really, really like them. Anyway, let's enlarge it and let's have a look at this one under UV light. So you can see that we've got this new pattern, this sort of triangular pattern that moves throughout the banknote, and it illuminates this wonderful bird of paradise that is perched on this little branch here. Really, really nice. Gives these banknotes a completely different life. And again, you can see that we've got the two rectangles with the denomination of 100 represented in them. So it's really, really fascinating and completely different compared to the previous 50 denomination. So let's move on to the next one, which is arguably the best, as it should be, being the highest denomination. Now, I love this design. I love this way more than the current 200 Dalasis banknote that they've just recently released. I think this one is way more interesting. Okay, for political reasons, I understand why they had to change it, but this one is a really cool design and I love it. Okay, let's enlarge it and let's put it under UV light. So again, we've got this wonderful pattern moving through the banknote, and again it illuminates this beautiful bird, different bird this time, and you can see that it just makes the banknote look really, really interesting with these wonderful traditional tribal patterns moving through the banknote. And what I like about it is all these little lines, they almost look like flickering embers, or almost like shimmering water that moves through the banknote. Now, this is a very, very common security feature that has been around for a long, long time, for decades and decades. In fact, in the early days, sort of in the 1930s and stuff like that, they used to put horsehair in some banknotes to create this sort of pattern effect that moves through it, to try and help deter people from making counterfeit copies of these banknotes. So again, you've still got this very old security feature, but updated with a modern twist. This has been around for quite some time now, so it's not a new thing. But again, because there's more of them, these little sort of lines that catch the light moving through the banknote, it sort of makes it look like, to me, like burning embers or possibly shimmering water. It's really, really nice. Again, you've got to let your imagination, run with it on this, but I think it looks kind of cool, and it gives the banknote just a extra little bit of spice. Really nice. Again, we've got the rectangle over to the right hand side with the denomination of 200 represented in there, but I think this one is absolutely spectacular. Again, because it's got the image of the bird and just the way that the bird is sat and how it catches the light, I think it just makes it really, really come to life. Fantastic series of banknotes. I was really surprised when I put these under the UV light because I wasn't expecting much, being, quite a low value currency, but wow, they really surprised me, and I hope they've surprised you too. So, what have I got for you today at the end of this video? Well, I've got a preview of some new banknotes that are coming out very, very soon. And all the images of these next series of notes I got from Scott's Bank. So if you look down in the description, you will find a link to their website. Go and check them out. Find out more information about these incredible banknotes that are coming up soon. So here is the Moneyman preview for this video. Let's have a look. So what I've got for you is a preview of the new Scottish £20 polymers that are coming out very, very soon, okay? First one, Clydesdale Bank. I love this. I cannot wait to get hold of this banknote. It's got Robert the Bruce on the front. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And again, they're all purple. I love purple. Okay, the next one is the wonderful Royal Bank of Scotland banknote. And I can tell you, I've just made another video about the Scottish £5 and £10 polymer banknotes under UV light, and they are spectacular. I cannot wait to show you that video. When I get the 20s, I'm going to be making another video about these banknotes as well, because I think they're going to be incredible under UV light, just like the Northern Ireland banknotes. Let's have a look at the next one. And the third one is the Bank of Scotland. Now, not too excited about this one, but it's still wonderful nonetheless, and you can see that they are continuing with the theme of Scottish bridges and engineering. So I can't wait until I get an example of each one of these new banknotes, along with the Bank of England £20 and the commercial banks in Northern Ireland. I can't wait to get all these new generation £20 polymers. So again, if you want to find out more about these banknotes, go to the link in the description, Scots Bank. You can find more about that. Sorry, that should be Scott Banks. Yeah, you can find that in the description. So all I have to say is thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found this enjoyable. I've got to say, for me, it's bringing some of my older banknotes completely back to life, because I've had stuff in my collection for 3 or 4 years. I've kind of ignored them. They've sat in my safe, and now I'm putting them under UV light, and I'm finding a renewed respect and appreciation for them, because I'm finding things in these banknotes that I've not known before. So I would highly advise that you do this yourself. Grab some of your banknotes, stick them under UV light, and see what is hiding underneath. You would not believe some of the sophistication in the designs that are in these banknotes, okay? They're absolutely wonderful. Don't worry, I've got many more videos in this series due to come in the near future. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, give me a like, and also visit my Facebook page, The Moneyman 1066 on Facebook. There is a link in the description. On there you can find news, views, and more numismatic news, and you can find everything that is currently in my collection through high definition images. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. It's the Moneyman signing out for now. Bye bye.